Hi everyone, I'm Christy Forsyth with Clarity by Christy. I am a soul therapist and an intuitive that connects with the angelic energy, and I help the helpers, the healers, and the light bringers of this world to live their most magical life. So if that's you, make sure you hit that subscribe button below. If you're watching on my YouTube channel, make sure you hit that bell so you can get notifications for all the videos that I'm sharing here on this channel. If you're watching on my Facebook, make sure you swing by and subscribe to my YouTube. I've been asking you guys, and you have been supporting it. I appreciate it so much. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers so that I can do my monthlies on there live, and I'm getting close. So please keep subscribing if you haven't already. I appreciate it so much. So we are going to dive into this week's energy. We're going to talk about what we have going on here as a collective, what we're all experiencing, what we can expect this week, and how we can best navigate this week. So the most important thing that I feel like I need to mention is that Mercury retrograde is over. It is done. It is Mercury has gone direct along with Jupiter, and I definitely feel it. I don't know about you guys, but I definitely feel it. I'm used to people being on here. I don't see anybody watching. I hope that this is working. Hopefully this is working. But so they have gone direct, and I felt just this lightening of the energy. That was a tough time. That was a heavy energy for so many of us. So I'm sending you all light as you are doing some of that deep shadow work, as you have been doing some of that deep shadow work, but hopefully you're feeling the lightening of the energy a little bit. It was a lot, but I think like now we are kind of on that other side of these retrogrades where we have some more clarity. And I want you to really think specifically about what has been revealed to you in regard to relationships in your life. So any relationships in your life, how you're interacting with people in your life, relationship patterns, and what was being shown to you throughout that retrograde period, because that really was the focus of that. And I think that it's really important to notice what came up for you and to notice what clarity came to mind for you. And if that hasn't arrived yet, it's important to ask yourself those questions. What came up for me during that retrograde in regards specifically to relationships or anything? What themes came up for me? What challenges came up for me? Because it has a way of highlighting those things that we need to heal within our life. And so noticing specifically around that, though, because that was really a big theme. And I feel like as we're stepping into this new moon in Aries, which is coming up, is tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow is the 20th. So I see this moon as really shining the light on basically on relationships. It's giving us that further clarity. So we really developed a foundation of clarity, of understanding around relationships through that time period. And this is just really shining that light. So you may find that already you've made some changes in regard to the way that you're interacting with people, or the boundaries that you're feeling called to set, or the way that you're handling certain situations with people, or your level of willingness to tolerate certain things. I think that we've been taking a look at, where can I do better for myself and for other people? You know, how can I do better? How can I show up better within relationships in my life? How can I honor people more? Those kind of questions. But how do I need other people to honor me more? How do I, how can I set boundaries, set standards so that I can create better relationship circumstances in my life? And so we're exploring all of these and arriving to some important conclusions, I think. So don't worry if you don't have clarity yet. Just let yourself reflect on these things, because I think the moon is really going to be showing us, and we're going to have a better sense of what that looks like. And for me, full moons are about clearing, or about releasing. So I think this is about what relationship patterns, what relationships, what habits that I have within relationships am I ready to release with this moon. And I do feel like there is a bit of like an agitated energy around this week. So be mindful of that, right? And make sure that you're navigating those interactions with people with love, with as much empathy as possible, but also setting the boundaries as needed and not allowing these circumstances to have as much of a negative impact on us. We want to make sure that we're aware of what is negatively impacting us in our lives and releasing that in whatever way we are feeling called to release that, whether that's through boundaries, whether that's through completely letting that go, whatever works. And, we're stepping into, on the 22nd, Scorpio season. And for me, Scorpio is about transformation. And I really feel that energy as we're stepping into this, as we're moving further out into this week, that we are preparing for this transformation. These retrogrades that we have had going on were that foundational work that we needed in order to allow us to now step into the action aspect of that, to step into the action aspect of this transformation that we're going to be working on over the next month or so. So be aware of that, pay attention to that, and allow yourself to flow with the insights that are coming through, allow yourself to flow with what you're feeling called to take action on. We're now done with several of these retrogrades, and so now I feel like the energy is going to be moving forward a little bit more. In fact, already I feel more energized. I don't know about you guys, but already I don't feel like I need as much sleep. I don't feel as tired. I really like when this is lifted. So notice that and take advantage of that, right? The energy is moving forward now. So you now can take more action on things. It's definitely more of an active energy. So let's take a look at the card. Hi, Deb. Nice to see you on here. Wait, let's see what Nicole said. Why do I feel so blah today? Well, you might still be feeling, the shadow of this retrograde. We're still in the shadow of that. You might still be feeling that. But I think a good question is, if I feel tired, what is it that still needs to come into balance for me? What is it that I'm needing today? What is it that I need to take care of myself? In fact, that's coming up in the cards. We have the self-care card, okay? So I do still see this as a focus. I've talked about this before. I feel like this whole year is about healing for the collective, but healing for us as well. So healing and self-care we have showing up right here with these cards, right? We also have flow. How can you let yourself go with the flow of what's showing up for you? Because when we are fighting against the flow, we are exhausting ourselves, right? So Nicole, maybe there is a fighting against the flow, and where are you exhausting yourself, or where are you putting energy into where you can relinquish control, where you can pay more attention to your self-care and your needs, so that we can begin to allow this energizing energy that wants to come through. Sorry, I'm dropping my card. We also have the create card. And I do feel like there is a message of that, right? Like you may find yourself feeling inspired to create something. You might have creative ideas. You might feel just inspired to do something. Pay attention to that inspiration. Hi, Sarah. Nice to see you on here. So let's take a look at the other cards that we have here. So this is interesting because I pulled these cards for a client that I was meeting with today. We have the Knight of Air and the King of Air here together. This for me is about, air is swords in tarot, and these are about clarity for me, right? These are about understanding. So if we aren't feeling clear, I do feel like we're going to be stepping into that clarity. And it's like, these for me are about clarity that leads to action, right? So it's like, I now know what it is that I need to do. I now understand and am inspired as to what it is that I'm needing to do, change in my life. And for me, swords are also very much connected with clearing. I think about swords and I think about cutting things out of my life, right? So what do I need to cut out of my life? And I think we're feeling very decisive about certain things that are ready to go, or we're getting more clear about those things if we're not quite feeling ready to take action on that. I also feel like with that creative card, like there's creative solutions that are coming through. So be open to different ideas that are outside the box for handling certain situations. let yourself really be expansive and expand your mind and explore different ways of doing things and trying different ways of doing things than maybe you've done them in the past. We really are stepping into this transformative energy, and so it's going to require a different approach, a different way of doing things. I also feel like, and I forgot to mention this, and I think I even included this in the title, that for me, the energy specifically around this full moon, but this whole week, is really going to make or break relationships, right? There is an opportunity for relationships to come together, for there to be reconnections coming together. We've had that come up a lot recently within these energies. And so we have that coming together, but we also have this energy of, maybe I'm done with certain connections in my life. Maybe I'm done with certain things that I've been allowing for a long time. So I do see this being that energy of, yes, it might make or break the relationships. Pay attention to that, right? If you're feeling called to end something, if you're feeling called to cut something out, pay attention to that. That is exactly what you're supposed to do. And if you're feeling called to lean into a relationship and do some more work on it, that's what you're being called to do as well. Because again, there are these questions about, what can I do better? What can, how can I improve this? Or how can we improve this together in order to allow for it? I'm also very aware that like these air cards are connected with communication, right? So I see us having some really beautiful conversations this week, and clear conversations, and maybe understanding each other much more clearly than we would on the other side or within that Mercury retrograde. We also have this 4 of fire, okay? So like I said, connections coming together. Sometimes this is a relationship that takes it to the next level. Sometimes this is people who are coming together to start a new relationship, but a new committed relationship. Sometimes this is marriage. Sometimes this is just stepping into a new stable phase in your life and stepping into a happy phase, a joyful phase. And I do feel like a lot of this healing that we've done has created a really powerful foundation for us to build happiness upon. So I love that so much. And then we have the Ace of Fire too. So we have 2 fire cards right next to each other as well. These are about action. These are about, it's time to go for it. Ace of Fire is my go for it card. It is about something exciting and new coming in. This is about gifts from the universe. This is about choosing to go for it. This is like, I've been contemplating, I've been sitting on this, I've been exploring this, and now I'm ready to take action. Now I'm ready to go for it. This is an exciting energy. This is you creating a powerful change in your life. The next card that we have, speaking of that, is the Chariot card. The energy moves forward. We're stepping into what's next for us, and we're going after it. This is not necessarily a great time to just sit on it, right? This is like, if you have ideas, if you have inspiration, if you're feeling called to do something, this energy is saying go for it and start to take action, whether it's little steps or whether it's a huge leap of faith, whatever your intuition is calling for. This is a general reading, but there's definitely movement. There's definitely a moving forward. There's even a moving on. I feel like I need to say that as well, because I think for a lot of people, especially as we're wrapping up certain cycles, this is the end of a lot of relationship cycles. And as we're doing that, there is a moving on. There's an understanding of there's nothing left here in this relationship, in this situation for me, and it's time to end one cycle and to step into the next. And that's where we have the life experience card, right? This is the Tower card in tarot. And I used to hate the Tower card. I used to panic when the Tower card would come up. But what I understand about that energy of the Tower card now is it's typically has an image of a tower that is falling down, and people are falling out of the building. But what I've learned about this energy is that it is absolutely life-changing stuff, life-changing circumstances, life-changing changes in our thinking. It's something that changes your life, but it is something that changes your life in such a significant way that it sets you free. And so when I think about those walls of the tower falling, I think about the universe stepping in, God stepping in, whatever you want to call that, to set us free from maybe a prison of our own making, from a prison that we've created through our thoughts, through our perceptions, through our circumstances. And there's a freedom that's coming on the other side. I feel that freedom so significantly, and I feel like that's so connected with this transformation. And it's such a powerful energy. So whatever is crumbling around you, or whatever, maybe you're creating these tower moments for yourself, right? There's a lot of action here. So maybe you're like taking the bull by the horns and you're going for it. But whatever is changing, whatever is crumbling around you, let it. Because that is the ticket to your freedom. That is leading you to something that is so much greater. And it might not look like it right now. It might just look like your world is crumbling around you. But I promise you, this is liberation. This is the stepping into your sovereignty. This is what's happening on a collective level, right? Things look pretty shitty right now in so many ways, right? It looks like in so many ways the world is falling apart, but the world is simply having a tower moment, and this is the path toward our freedom. And it's incredibly powerful. So I'm feeling this energy so much right now, and I think that it's resonating for all of you. So pay attention to that stuff and try not to let that bring you too down or send you into a panic, because we tend to not like change. But this change is for the better, and this is taking us to that liberation and to that freedom that we've been asking for a really long time. It just might look a little bit more challenging until we get there. So those are your messages for today, for this week. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. If this connects for you, or if there's somebody else that you think would connect with these messages, make sure you tag them below. Make sure you share this out, like it, heart it. I always love to hear from you guys in comments below. If you haven't subscribed yet to my YouTube channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button if you're watching on my YouTube. And I guess that's it. So thank you guys so much. I will see you soon with another video. Take care, guys.